Viruses are not a covered peril. I don't know what we're missing. We could be overthinking this. We could be overreacting to the literal words on a piece of paper.
So you got your EIDL loan, and now, months later, you're getting an email from the SBA asking you to provide insurance to be in compliance with your loan agreement. But what if you don't have that insurance? Stay tuned, because we're going to talk about that today with the insurance bunny rabbit from Easter.
I'm actually a unicorn rabbit.
The
such a
insurance
thing?
unicorn.
For those who are celebrating, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Let's just start with the language exactly as it reads in the EIDL loan agreement. And I'm going to run some B-roll.
In the hazard insurance component of your EIDL loan agreement and authorization. Within 12 months from the date of this loan authorization and agreement, the borrower will provide proof of an active and in effect hazard insurance policy including fire, lightning, and extended coverage on all items used to secure this loan to at least 80% of the insurable value. But elsewhere in the loan agreement note, paragraph 8 states, quote, borrower may not use an oral statement of SBA to contradict or alter the written terms of this note. End quote. This is important, as you're going to find out when our insurance broker expert talks about this hazard insurance component and what the SBA clerks are doing. Linda Ray, take it away. I'm going to drink coffee.
So where to start other than our new custom Aurora mug? Hello. The language in the agreement sounds pretty clear, right? Pretty specific. First, our client doesn't have 80% of property coverage to the extent of the loan amount. That's the first problem. He got the 150. He should have gotten more. His property coverage is 91,000 and change. It's not going to be 80%. So let's just point out the language that says extended coverage on all items used to secure this loan. Now, this is where I have a big problem with the hazard insurance being a compliance of this loan agreement. This is an old requirement. When a natural disaster struck a community and either ripped the roof off the house or a flood damaged a storefront and the business had to close, they could get an EIDL loan from the SBA
to replace lost revenue and also
repair the property.
Physical damage component to get that money.
Because the natural disaster was the cause of the damage that caused them to get the EIDL loan, the property coverage is a finite amount of money that was determined on how to repair, how much it would cost to repair. And because there is insurance for that kind of peril, you could get insurance to then in the future not have to get an EIDL loan. You would have your insurance that would cover this damage of this occurrence.
Can I ask you a question, Linda? Uninitiated insurance person. In the case of if my beauty salon was affected by a tornado and I lost revenue for 3 months because I was repairing, so I got an EIDL loan to repair the physical damage, but also to replace lost revenue. Now, the SBA asked me for insurance for my beauty salon. Can I get insurance that will replace lost revenue in the future?
Yeah.
I can? That's that business interruption insurance?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's business interruption insurance. The perils that have caused the
tornado,
damage,
the hurricane,
is typically
the wildfire,
covered.
The flood.
Flood is separate. That's a whole other video. You have to buy flood insurance, but it is available through FEMA.
Well, we're not talking about flood insurance. We're talking about fire, lightning, and extended coverage.
Well,
right?
whatever extended coverage means to them, I don't know.
Well,
we don't know.
We're going to get to that. If you got an EIDL loan for a natural disaster that affected your business and you got an EIDL loan to replace lost revenue and to repair physical damage, it is perfectly reasonable for the SBA to have this paragraph asking you to get insurance so that in the future, if another tornado or hurricane or whatever natural disaster affected your business, then the amount of the SBA loan would be accommodated by the insurance. And that's all that, and that's perfectly reasonable.
And that's perfectly reasonable requirement. If you have insurance that meets this video is not for you. Big picture of why this doesn't work. COVID is a virus. Viruses are not a covered peril.
Meaning you cannot call an insurance broker or an insurance company and say, hey, I would like to get insurance for my business to protect against physical damage and loss of revenue
as a result
in
of a
the
virus.
event of a virus wiping out the American economy for a year or
Now,
two.
I am sure as you
Cannot
say
buy
this,
that insurance, right?
Well, as of right now, I am not aware of this coverage. I am sure some of the actuaries are probably figuring out how to make this possible. Maybe. I don't know. Number one, a virus is not a covered peril. Any policy that someone buys is not going to protect the business in the capacity that the SBA is requiring them to get.
Hazard insurance policy including fire, lightning, and extended coverage on all items up to 80% of the insurable value. We have a client who has a software development company, and he got a $150,000 EIDL loan. They're asking him for this insurance. And I asked him, well, do you have a business owner's policy? He said, no, I don't have any kind of insurance like that. I said, well, what kind of equipment do you have that potentially you could go to your insurance company and get some insurance? He goes, I have a computer. So even if the guy has the most expensive computer, let's say he has a $7,000 computer, if he gets coverage for that computer,
It's not 80%.
it's not. That's where we, as financing professionals, have an issue. And here is where the other paragraph I cited, borrower may not use an oral statement of SBA to contradict or alter the written terms of this notice. This is what's going on.
Run the B-roll on the emails from SBA agents that are talking about what is okay because it doesn't really matter. Just we need something for the file.
We just need something. Just give us your homeowner's insurance. Just give us your renter's insurance.
Now, the homeowner's insurance, let's just talk about that for a second. Okay, yeah, you have a business and you work out of your home. You can get a provision on your homeowner's insurance for working from home, having a business in your home. There is an endorsement to provide for that. And by the way, homeowner's insurance specifically excludes flood. Does extended coverage mean flood as well? Because flood is a natural disaster. There are plenty of declared natural disasters that are flood related that a homeowner's insurance, unless you have a flood policy, isn't going to cover it. So then that negates it.
These emails and these phone calls calling and contacting business owners like you from clerks at the SBA offices post-closing asking for this insurance. And when the business owner says, I don't have that insurance, the agent says, well, that's okay, just give me this. Except that is literally contradicting or altering the written terms of the note. All right, so you've got renter's insurance on your apartment. You got a $150,000 EIDL loan. The SBA rep says, just send me your renter's insurance. So you send your renter's insurance. And she checks off the box and closes your file and sends it off wherever they send it. Except, what if the SBA decides to come back to you later and say, hey, you know what? You never provided us with accurate insurance. What are you going to say? Oh, well, your agent told me on the phone that this would be acceptable. We are talking about a document that many places in this document says criminal and civil penalties.
I don't know what we're missing. We could be overthinking this. We could be overreacting to the literal words on a piece of paper that would be the overriding consequences. And the SBA could say, it doesn't matter. We have it in the file and that's okay. And then all of it goes away. And it doesn't really matter what we're saying. What could you do with everything now that we just said? Because we may have confused you even more because it doesn't make sense to us.
And we're not talking about the bunny ears and the unicorn ears with confusing you.
This is really the only thing you can do until
Only thing.
we get in touch with somebody. And I have a letter going to Isabel Guzman, which, by the way, I'm going to do it certified where she has to sign for it. I don't know if she will sign for it, but somebody will sign for it, I guess.
When Linda says letter, she's written a multi-page opinion based on her 30-year experience in the insurance world and interviews with insurance carriers discussing this very topic.
This is what you could do. If you have a policy that has property coverage, and if you work outside of your home, and that's homeowner's insurance, because you all have property coverage on your homeowner's insurance contents, you can submit the policy. You can submit a policy that represents the best case scenario of your scenario. That is, you work from home, give them your homeowner's policy, because we have that in an email from a SBA agent. If you have a business policy that has property coverage for equipment or furniture, give that policy. And then just see what happens.
When Linda says this, by the way, disclaimer here. The mortgage loan officer in me who did federal government loans for 30 years and is a compliance...
I don't even want to say it.
I'm a compliance fanatic. I want to be very clear. When Aurora Consulting, Linda Ray and Trevor says this to you, that you can do this, this is not what we're advising you to do. We do not believe that what Linda just described rises to the standard of compliance, and this is what we have said to multiple SBA agents on behalf of our clients, we do not believe what you're saying, Miss SBA agent, rises to the level of compliance with the loan agreement that our client signed an agreement with the federal government.
Roll B-roll for the email from the SBA agent who says, your arguments of a policy is wasted on me. Except you're asking for it, and you're insisting on it, and you're defending your 1,500 caseload that you're too busy to worry about the right way to do it.
Let's talk about the insurance that the other SBA agent said, well, just go out and buy an insurance policy for this.
Run the B-roll.
This is for our client with a limousine service up near Boston. And she said, well, just go out and get, this is a fellow who drives a limousine for corporate clients. He hasn't worked in a year. He's struggling to put food on the table and to pay his rent. And now you at the SBA are suggesting he should go out and incur additional expense to support his EIDL loan.
He had to lower his liability limits because he couldn't afford the policy he had.
Yeah.
You want him to go out and buy more insurance? Are you out of your mind?
And he's not the only one. We've heard from other people on the internet where they say that SBA agents have said the same thing. Well, just go out and get this insurance like this. First of all, like as if this insurance is so easy to get. Number one.
That's the
Number
other
two,
thing.
then there's the cost.
That's a whole other video. Here's another contradiction from an SBA agent in an email where he says, you have to send the declarations page. Okay, fine. Well, guess what? Today, another client, their insurance agent, sent a certificate. It was accepted.
So we have another client, a restaurant group. We had them send their insurance to Linda. She read it.
It did satisfy.
Well, hold on. The SBA agent got the policy, the entire
Weeks
policy.
ago.
And then emailed back, no, this policy does not meet the standard. She then had to write a second email to the SBA agent and highlight, there it is. They don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're asking for. We're begging you, Isabel Guzman, for SBA agents, number one, chasing business owners or telling business owners to buy insurance that they can't afford during this pandemic is shameful. But also,
hold on.
How about directing some of those people to help those business owners get more money? How about helping them get their reconsiderations approved? What a waste of talent.
When we kind of contradict the logic of the whole thing, you have to wonder with the tone in the emails from the SBA agents when they're defending to the death. It's like, listen, I know you have a job to do, but honestly, like, are you even, hello? Is there some kind of incentive that they're getting for checking off the box? Because why are you so defensive about something that doesn't make sense? COVID is not a covered peril. The policy does not comply with 80%. Depending on the type of business, you can't just go buy a policy. The insurance company is underwriting the liability of lawsuits filed in the event of whatever the type of business is. If it causes injury or illness to someone because of the type of business, they have to underwrite for that. They can't just buy a policy that says, I got an EIDL loan and the SBA needs a COVID covered peril policy. It doesn't exist.
If you sense our frustration and our passion, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. She's the Linda Ray insurance chick, and I am the bunny-eared Trevor, and we are Aurora Consulting.
Finance.
EIDL.
You're changing it. Ooh.
EIDL solutions for your business success story. We wish you all a happy holiday, happy Passover, happy Easter, and more importantly, stay safe and stay well, and we'll all get through this together.
Where's the camera again?
It's right here.
Okay.